What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Manifesting Monday, and today is the day after Valentine's Day, so it's only right that we talk about manifesting love. The very first step to manifesting love that's going to add purpose to our lives and add value to our lives is to define love for ourselves. I really feel like it's difficult to find love and know what love is once we do find it, because we don't have a working definition for love. Simply put, if you ask 5 people on the street, what is love to you, they'll all give you a different answer. Now, love is one of those complicated emotions, right? People think it's all a feeling, it's emotions, it's irrational. Nobody makes you fall in love, right? There is no Cupid doesn't shoot you with a bow and arrow. Nobody makes you fall in love. It is a decision that you enter into, and you should not enter into it lightly. If you are looking for an interesting book all about love, go ahead and pick up Bell Hooks' All About Love, because she's going to teach you everything you need to know in this book. Love is not an irrational emotion. It is intentional and it is action-based, okay? Without intention and action, you don't actually have love. You might have some of the components of love, but you do not have it in its entirety, and that's where the problems come in. Bell Hooks provides a working definition for love. In All About Love, I'm gonna read from the text. It says, love is the will to nurture our own and another's spiritual growth. There are several components to love. Genuine love is a combination of care, commitment, trust, respect, knowledge, and responsibility. This is why people end up in not so great relationships, because lots of people carry some of the components, right? There might be respect in the relationship, but if there isn't commitment, if there isn't trust, then your foundation is lacking. And unfortunately, those relationships come to teach us a lesson as opposed to providing us the love and the care that we need and we want. After we have a working definition for love, we need to sit with the fact that some relationships can have a couple of the components of love, but still ultimately miss the mark in some ways. If any of the dimensions of love are missing, this could lead to you are welcoming in dysfunction. If your lover is respectful and responsible, but you can't trust them, this is shaky foundation and you won't be able to love properly. Thus, the relationship will not be harmonious. If your family of origin is caring and loving and meets your external needs monetarily, but neglects to nurture your soul, this leads to dysfunction. Another tip for manifesting love is to make sure that if you want to be loved, you are being loving. So if you want to receive love, you have to give love. It is an exchange. For every action, there is a reaction. So if you give love out, you will get it back. Not necessarily from the person that you gave it to, right? Not immediately all the time. But if you give out love, you will get it back. If you are not committed to nurturing somebody else's personal growth, if you are not committed to being caring, responsible, knowledgeable about the person, what you here for? The truth is that you're gonna find a lot of people in the world who want to be loved and have no interest in being loving in return. And to that I say, run. Put your Nike Freeze on and beat your feet. Like, go immediately. I myself had to get serious in order to be on a frequency to receive love at this level. I've been dating and in relationships for about 10 years. Not the same relationship, but they all felt the same. When I got out of high school, I got into my first real relationship, and he was abusive and possessive. It wasn't a loving and caring environment. We were trauma bonded, and it was fun, it was thrilling at the time, because when you're young, you don't know any better. When you see these examples of what love is around you and in the media, you come to believe that that's what it looks like, and this is largely acceptable. You are a child, you're receiving programs, and I call them programs, but you can just say you receive the code. You understand what love looks like by the time you're 7, and if you're getting mixed messages about what love is, when you go out to find love, you get in mixy situations. And even though I wasn't dating the same person for 10 years. Literally every relationship was abusive, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I felt like I had to endure these relationships. I felt like I had to build these people up so that one day they can come to return the love that I was given. And I just have to wait for a return on my investment. I want to tell you now, if that's your situation, pick up your nurturing, pick up your caring, pick up your love, pick up your respect, pick up your honesty, and go find somebody who deserves it. And guess what? The person who deserves it is you. It wasn't until after I was in my very last relationship before I got married that I had to literally surrender and say, I don't know what I'm doing. Lots of people feel good about going full steam ahead, and like you headed in the wrong direction because you don't even know your focus, you don't know your intention. Like I really thought that I was headed to love and marriage with these people. I felt like I was a rehabilitation center. I felt like I could change the essence of these people that I was dealing with. You cannot change the essence of a person. The person has to decide on their own. For you to stay around while they figure that out. Just go. This is how I knew that the universe, God, spirit was trying to teach me a lesson that I wasn't getting because the relationships were increasingly worse until I was in an abusive relationship with somebody who wanted to kill me. Like could have killed me on several occasions. That's how bad the abuse was. The worst kind of abuse you could ever imagine. At some point I had to stop and reevaluate and take a look at everything around me and say,
is this really what you want? Right? Do you really want to be trauma bonded to a person who's literally giving you nothing in return but a headache?
And once I had that awakening, I was like, no. I realized that I was being walked on and mentally and physically and verbally abused because I would do it to myself. In my head and in my mind, the little tiny voice that would speak to me back then was super unkind. If I was walking and I tripped over something, the little voice in my mind would be like, you
stupid bitch, you're dumb, like why would you're so clumsy, what the fuck, like.
Going in. And I had to realize how I was beating myself up every single day internally, right? And we don't think that these things matter, but they inform our decisions and dealings with other people. You can't get in a relationship that's healthy and peaceful if you yourself are not mentally healthy and at peace. And so again, this component of unlearning is super important. So it's this unlearning that takes place through positive affirmations, and the internal is always reflected externally. So if you're doing the work internally inside of you, you're gonna find relationships that are a resonant match like that. Love is the highest frequency. God is love. You can't be in love from your sacral chakra. You can't be in agape love, God love from your sacral chakra. When your chakras aren't aligned, when you're not emitting this frequency of love from your heart chakra on up to your God consciousness, it's not gonna work. If you are developing trauma bonds in place of love, I will say you need to focus on alignment of those 3 lower chakras, because those deal with your animalistic desires, because that's going to be super important to find in love. Once you get the energy flowing all the way up to your heart chakra, you are now opened up enough to receive that which you are. Once you get on the frequency, you become the frequency, you attract what you are. You are in your 3 lower chakras. You're trying to fulfill your survival needs. If you are in your 5 chakras, from your heart up, you are thriving at that point. And the only way to find love is to be thriving. Anything else is dysfunction. Anything else is something like love. It ain't love, it's something like it. Anything else might be a trauma bond. So be careful. For real. Trauma and love do not go hand in hand. Be abusive and loving at the same time. Abuse is the antithesis of love. You can't do both at once. To align to that which you desire, you have to write it down and get clear on your intention. I intend to find a man that's loving. I intend to find a man that's caring. I intend to find a man that's responsible. I intend to find a man or woman, whatever. you intend to find, write down a list of the qualities that you want. And I realized that a lot of the relationships that I had been in before I met my husband were like everything that I didn't want. You know, what you need, you have to first get in tune with self. Self-love is super important. I can't stress that enough. Find out what you like, find out what you dislike. I realized early on, nobody wants to give you what you're not giving yourself. If you don't speak highly of yourself, if you're not kind to yourself, why would somebody else have a reason to be? Why would anybody feel the need to do it for you? You have to get to a place where you love yourself so people know how to approach the throne. You are taking care of yourself, people know how to approach the throne. People take full stock, a full estimation of all that you are. So when they see you in your self-care routine, right? They see you going to the gym. They see you reading self-help books. They see you seeing a therapist. They see you in your self-care bag. They're gonna know that the only way to approach the throne is to match energy. At the least, you gotta match energy. You honoring who you are, they will honor you, or they will be scared away. And that's what you want. Either you want somebody to honor and respect what you got going on, or get up out of here. You're already performing at this high level for self. People are going to know I gotta come correct. I gotta care about her. I gotta be responsible. I gotta be trustworthy. I have to do all of these things because she's doing it for herself. She's already doing these things every single day, so I cannot approach her with less than. You can surely write down the characteristics of the mate that you are seeking. For instance, when I was manifesting my husband, sometimes somebody would do something that was alarming or give me a red flag while I was dating, I would write down the opposite of that red flag. So if somebody was a horrible communicator, I would write down in my notepad, my husband will be an excellent communicator. If I felt like the person I was dating at the time wasn't considerate of my needs, I would write down, my husband will be considerate of my needs. And I would go on and on and on with this list. Literally, when my husband showed up, he was everything that was on that list, to a T. The lesson is really simple. All you have to do is have an intention and get a clear picture in your mind of what it looks like when it actually manifests. When it actually arrives, what does it look like? If you are manifesting a spouse, what does your spouse look like? And I'm not talking about physical features, although you can list physical features if you like, because I did. But I'm talking about beyond physical features. Is your spouse family oriented? Are they kind? Are they generous? Are they friendly? In order to manifest, you have to practice avoidance. So if you wrote down your wife will be a great communicator, but you're entertaining people who say what you doing every 5 minutes, who don't text back frequently, who tell you, oh, I was asleep all the time, what you doing? You said you wanted a communicator, but you're accepting somebody who's not. So your actions and intentions have to be aligned. If I say I want a communicator, if I say I want somebody who's responsible, if I say I want somebody who's thoughtful, I'm not gonna entertain anyone who's not that. Because I'm sending the universe mixed signals. Whenever you're sending the universe mixed signals, things take a longer time to manifest, or they don't at all. The universe wants you to be clear. You have to have a clear definition of love. You have to have self-love, and then your actions and intentions have to align in order for anything to manifest. Seems really complex, but it's really super simple. You attract what you are. You are loving and you expect love, and you will not settle for less than love. Then you're gonna find love. Spending time with people who aren't loving more than you're spending time with people who are loving and positive, you're gonna get more of those people who aren't loving and aren't positive, because that's just the way the world works. I love y'all. And love is so easy to give, it's so easy to receive. You just gotta be on that frequency. I am love, God is love, it's the highest frequency. And we do all things in love. That means I'm committed to nurturing your spiritual growth. And I'm gonna be here for you every step of the way. That's what love is. So feel that in your heart and feel like you deserve it, because you do. You do deserve it. Do not entertain anything that's less than. I'm gonna experience the greatest frequency that is every day of my life. I'm gonna receive miracles in abundance every single day of my life. I'm committed to a life of well-being, which means that I'm in relationships where I am equally yoked. Spiritually, mentally, physically, I am equally yoked. Love yourself first because you deserve. Be romantic with yourself first because you deserve. Those are my tips to manifesting love. I am so happy we got to spend this time together, and I would that you would come back and spend a little more time next week when we talk about manifesting. Let me know in the comment section what you would like to manifest, and I'll see you in my next video.